Hello, everyone. I am going to be talking about balancing independence and togetherness. I'm Stephanie Moutei, your intimacy and relationship coach. So, our agenda for tonight is welcome and grounding, then setting the stage. We're going to review independence, dependence, and interdependence, the autonomy, how to communicate needs for space and closeness, connection, ritual reset, and then bringing it all together before we go to a close. So, for our welcoming and grounding, it's so important that we stay connected without losing ourselves. As I mentioned, I'm Stephanie Moutei. I'm an intimacy, sex, and relationship coach and the founder of The Intimate Journey. I'm so glad that you're here because we're diving into a topic every relationship comes face to face with: how to stay connected without losing yourself. Before we begin, let's take a moment to truly arrive. So I invite you to go ahead and soften your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and let the weight of the day slide down your body. Take a slow inhale through your nose, filling your chest, your ribs, your belly. Hold for a heartbeat, and then exhale gently through your mouth, letting anything you don't need to melt out of you in this moment. Let yourself land in this moment, your mind, your body, and your attention. If you're comfortable, maybe place a hand on your chest or belly. Just for the moment, feel the rise, feel the fall. Notice that you are here. You chose this space. You chose this time for yourself. And with one more deep breath, allow yourself to fully arrive, ready, open, and grounded. In healthy relationships, real love lives in the middle. Not too distant, not fused together, but in that beautiful space called interdependence. Has anyone heard of interdependence? Tonight, I'm going to help you understand difference between independence, dependence, and interdependence. How to communicate your needs without guilt, blame, or shutdown, and how to protect your individuality and your connection. Feel free in the chat to put in what brought you here tonight. Are you craving more space? Or maybe you're craving more closeness? Feel free to drop that in the comments or chat. Now, do you know the difference between dependence, independence, and interdependence? Most don't, and that's okay. I'm here to simplify this for you. So, with dependence, the core belief is I can't be okay unless you reassure me, stay close, and or make me feel secure. This is when a partner relies on the other to regulate their emotions and sense of self-worth or stability. And have listed some ways that this shows up in a relationship. It could be clinginess or constant need for reassurance, fear of conflict, abandonment, or rejection, overfunctioning to keep the partner happy, anxiety when the partner takes space or focuses on themselves, difficulty making decisions alone. I will say I definitely in past relationships was dependent. I would even say borderline codependent. Um, I had to work through my own shit. I had to. I had to work through it so that I could become secure in who I am. And as we go through, I'll share more. There's some deeper context to dependence here. Dependence often forms from insecurity, past traumas, that was mine, or inconsistent caregiving. It's not bad. It's usually a nervous system trying to stay safe. But in a relationship, it can feel consuming, overwhelming, and even suffocating to both partners. Now, independence, which I was raised was where I really should be, is to be independent, right? And the core belief on this is I don't need you. I don't rely on anyone. I'm safest when I'm self contained. This is when a partner stays heavily self sufficient and avoids depending on others emotionally. And this can show up like they minimize emotions, they avoid vulnerability, maybe preferring distance during conflict or stress, handling problems alone, even when support is available, and difficulty letting a partner in. Anyone experience this, whether it's you that has been the independent one or a partner was independent? This usually forms as a protective strategy, often from environments where emotions weren't safe, needs weren't met, and vulnerability was punished or ignored. These people aren't cold, they're armored. And then the last is interdependence. Now, I just literally learned about interdependence 3 years ago in my own experience. And this is, I am a whole person. You are a whole person. And we can support each other without losing ourselves. How beautiful is that, right? This is a balanced, healthy, relational style where partners are connected, but not enmeshed, independent, but not detached. Does that make sense? And the way that an interdependence shows up in a relationship is both people have their identities, desires, goals, and space of their own. And not meaning they have their own houses or their own bedrooms in a house. It means they have their own space, their own hobbies to go and do stuff. They don't have to be 24/7 with their partner. Both lean on each other without collapsing into each other. Needs and boundaries are communicated clearly and respected. Conflict is navigated collaboratively, not defensively. Support flows both ways instead of one person carrying everything. Interdependence is the sweet spot. It honors individuality and connection, two strong, self aware people choosing one another, not out of fear or obligation, but out of desire and mutual respect. It's the foundation of secure attachment, emotional safety, and long-term relational health. All right, so I have a little mini exercise. Which one do you lean toward when under stress? Do you tend to be more dependent? If so, drop a D in the comments or chat. Or do you tend to be more independent? If so, drop an I in the chat comments. Awesome. Beautiful awareness. This is where your patterns begin to shift. Ooh, the autonomy. We're going to do a connection scan. So let's drop into our first exercise together. I want you to take a moment and gently check in with both your body and your relationship. Now, notice what's happening inside you, not what you think should be happening, not what you or your partner expect, but what is actually present in this moment in your body, inside you. There is no right or wrong here. This is simply data, information. It's clues about how you're relating to both yourself and your partner. As you breathe, ask yourself, where am I craving more independence? Where am I craving more closeness? Your body often answers before your mind does. Isn't that awesome? So, your first journal prompt here. Go ahead and take, a couple minutes to write these prompts. Don't overthink it. Just let the truth flow. Let it come through as it is. Don't try to change it. Just let it flow naturally. Where do I feel most like myself in this relationship? Where is your authenticity? This is where your authenticity feels alive, where you don't have to perform, shrink, please, or be perfect. And journal prompt number 2, where do I shrink, overgive, or disconnect from myself? These are places where your needs, voice, or boundaries get blurry, or maybe even disappear. When you're ready, if you feel comfortable, I invite you to drop one word in the chat or comments that describes what came up for you. It could be expansion, tension, clarity, exhausted, maybe hopeful, seen. So many different options, but what's true to you? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being brave enough to look inward. Now, here's something important to remember. When we ignore these internal signals, resentment and imbalance grow quietly in the background. But when we actually name them, even privately to ourselves, we create room for healing, conversation, and change. This is the first step towards balancing your need for independence with your desire for connection. All right. So, how do you communicate, right? How do you communicate the needs for space or maybe your need for closeness? Here's something most couples don't realize: relationships very rarely break because two people needed different things. They tend to break because both people are scared that expressing a need will upset or reject or overwhelm the other person. It's not actually the need that causes friction, it's the delivery, it's the timing, and it's the fear behind it. Let that sink in for a moment. When we are craving closeness, asking for it can feel very vulnerable. When we're craving space, asking for it can feel risky, like we might hurt the person we love. So, here's the formula I teach all my clients. It keeps communication clean, grounded, and loving. This is what I'm needing, and here's how you can support me. So simple, right? It's simple, it's direct, and it removes the guessing game your partner is constantly trying to play. I'm going to repeat it. This is what I'm needing, and here's how you can support me, right? So, some examples: asking for space without triggering abandonment. So, you could say, I need some solo time to recharge tonight. So, can or I need some solo recharge time tonight so I can show up more connected tomorrow. This is telling your partner why and reassures them that you're not withdrawing from the relationship. 2, asking for closeness without sounding demanding. I'm craving closeness with you. Could we spend 20 minutes together without phones later? That is clear, it's doable, and it's specific. There's no pressure and no guilt. 3, naming overwhelm honestly and gently. So this could look like, I'm overwhelmed. Please understand, I'm not pulling away from you. I'm just trying to ground myself. Oof. This prevents your partner from personalizing the distance or going into panic mode, right? And the fourth is optional additional lines that you can use live if you want. I love you. And right now, I need a few minutes to reset. Or, I want to feel more connected. Could you check in later with me? Or, and I've used this one, my battery's low. I'm drained. Can we reconnect after dinner? These are just some examples of ways that you can communicate your needs for space or closeness without triggering your partner, thinking that you're banning them or that you're overwhelming them. When you communicate needs this way, you're doing two powerful things. You're honoring your autonomy. You are allowed to have space and needs and emotions, believe it or not. And 2, you create safety for your partner. They don't have to guess, chase, or shut down. How beautiful is that? This is how couples shift from pushing and pulling to co-regulating, cooperating, and choosing each other intentionally. Hmm. All right, all right, all right. Here's the truth. Healthy love doesn't ask you to choose between freedom and closeness. It's learning the dance, when to lean in, when to pull back, and when to do both with intention. So remember these three anchors: know yourself, know your needs, stress patterns, and personal desires. Communicate early. Don't wait until resentment builds. And three, create rituals that support the relationship you actually want. Now, let's anchor this with something practical you can use immediately. And I invite you to write down one ritual that helps you reconnect without losing yourself. And here are some examples I have on the screen: a 15-minute solo reset after work, maybe a weekly connection check in, shared morning or night gratitudes. My boyfriend and I, we do nightly gratitudes from the day. Journaling. We also do journaling every morning. I have my journal right here. Got the questions, prompts, and we go through and do our journaling. Boundaries around phone free time. Maybe a mini I feel I need conversation once a week. Oh, a 60-second hug. Or express appreciation to one another. So, a journal prompt for you with this is: what's one ritual that honors my individuality? And what is one ritual that nurtures our connection, the connection with you and your partner? Right. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself tonight. This work matters. And if tonight opened something for you, imagine what deeper guidance and practice could shift in your relationship. So, if you would like guidance, support, and tools that transform your relationship from the inside out, please follow me on Instagram, visit my website, or reach out if you're ready for a discovery call and coaching. I'd love for you to join me next week for the free webinar on sexual empowerment for women, breaking free from shame. It's next Wednesday, December 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me tonight. Honor yourself, honor your connection, and keep choosing each other with intention. Bye.